We're just about done with this delete user page, and we'll wrap everything up in this tutorial. But I want to show you that we need to do some error checking, because we can test this out, and it says Fred, but let's put something else in here, a name that we definitely don't have in our database. If we say to delete this, nothing happens. So it should throw an error, tell us, hey, this user doesn't exist. So let's put all of our error checking in here and clean this up and wrap this up. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here and add a little verification. We've done this in several other pages where we wrap a little span around our button, and when that button's pressed, we will pop up a little message and say, "You sure you want to delete this user?" So we'll take this and paste this around our button, and then close the span down here just below the button. Okay, so that will prompt the user anytime we click on that button. We'll say, hey, this thing, are you sure you want to delete this user? Now let's go and look and add some code to the button when we actually do the delete. That's in our VB over here. So right now, when we click on the delete button, we just run this. So we get the username to delete, and then we go to this membership, delete user, and we've been running this all along. But the problem is, if there's any errors, we're not trapping those. So what I'm going to do again is I've done quite a bit of testing and written some code here. So we're going to grab all of this code and then paste it over here, and then we'll walk through the code. Okay, so we say we get the read the username, I'm sorry, have the username variable, read that from the text box, and then we're going to make that delete panel invisible, and we have some other panels that will pop up. So then we have some try and catch sections here, and if things fail, then I've built some other panels that we'll throw in here that are going to pop up. So the first thing we're going to check to see if the username is user to delete, which means the user didn't actually put a username in there, it says user to delete, or if it's blank, then we want to have a panel that pops up that says you need to enter the username. Or actually, this is just a label. So we're going to put this label actually right next, or right under the button, or right next to the button. So let's go grab that and throw that on there. So this is just a label, a normal label, and it starts out invisible, but then we set its visibility to true if they don't put a username in there. So we'll go to our page and we'll put this right after the button, so it'll show up after the button. So again, initially we set its visibility to false. I'll set the foreground color to red. But if they don't enter a username, they're going to see this message. So this, I would use the down in the validation. It's doing the same thing that the regular expression validator would do, except I'm having a hard time making it match or not match a string, a regular expression validator. So I can make it match a string, but I can't make it not match a string. Anyway, well, let's not get into that. Okay, so that's the first piece of chunk of code. Says if they don't enter anything, let's just show them in that panel. Then we'll do this one. This actually says run this delete user function, and if it works out okay, then let's do this. Let's display the success panel, and if that doesn't work, then we'll display this error panel. So we need to go get this success panel now, and let's go copy that again. I built this panel already over here. It's just a normal panel with a couple buttons in it. So this is my success panel. We'll copy this and paste it in over here. I'm just going to put all these panels. It doesn't matter where you put them in your code, since they're all going to be invisible to start with, and we just turn them on and off as we need them. So in this one, we set its visibility to false. We say, then here's our message, the user. Then we have a label, and we'll put the user's name in here that we deleted. But we can say the user was deleted. Whatever the username is will pop up in there. And we'll have two buttons. Do you want to delete another user, or do you want to return to this user management page where we add and delete users? Okay, so that's this chunk of code. And if there was a problem deleting the user, not there was a name in there, but there was a problem deleting them, then we'll get this error panel and we'll display that one. So let's just go copy that error panel code from over here. And we'll, again, paste it. It doesn't matter where it goes. So it's kind of the same thing. If there's an error, we'll display some text and the username that caused the problem. And then we'll say, hey, here's this thing that you can actually go and see a list of users again if you want. Or you can hit a button, go back and try to delete the user again, or hit another button and return to the user management page. So we also need to add the code for these buttons, all of our buttons, and that's this code right here. So I've named my button something, and I've just got the click events for all these different buttons. And we'll either take them back to the management default page or toggle our panels. So I'm going to paste that code in here. And I think the only other thing I need to do that I haven't done is for that link button 1, we also have link button 2. Now, I put another link down in this error panel if you want to see the user. So I'm going to call this guy actually link button 3. So we want to copy this code. Actually, let's just do it this way so it all gets set up right. So we'll go and ask for link button 2 and his click event. And then got this. I'm just going to put these two sections of code together since they do the same thing. Put it here. And then we'll copy this and put it inside this link button 2 click event. Okay, so let's run this. I know this is running a little long here, but you can test this out yourself. So now if we say delete the user, it comes back, says okay, do you want to? Maybe we should check that. But you notice it pops us up, says hey, enter the name of the user you want to delete. And then if we come in here and say, delete some user that we don't have, it says hey, there was a problem. Do you want to see a list of users? Do you want to try the delete again? If we say try the delete again, it brings us back here. And now we can say let's actually delete somebody. And it comes back and says, okay, that user was actually deleted. So we're trying to catch all the errors, make things graceful for the user. And if they ever return to the management page, it brings them back here where they can either add a new user or remove a user. Okay, this one's a little long. But this is the end.